protector and provider, super.
Hey, what's up? It's Presley Tennant from The Voice, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show on Roku and YouTube.
Dark and made it brighter. Wish it could be half that strong.
I will make it.
If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side. 'Cause I've been working all my life just to make it. If I can make it through the night, just to see.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thanks for joining us today. Now, you all know that I have struggled with weight for so many years, but I feel like I'm on the right path mentally and getting to where I need to be in my fitness journey, my weight loss journey. I don't weigh myself, I just live. I see it now more as a lifestyle more than anything. And bringing on great people like today's guest continues to motivate me and inspire me on that journey. We have Dwight Holt Jr. with us, and he is the founder of Dance Your Pounds Off. And he has some incredible ties with the queen of comedy herself, Monique. So he talks about his incredible business, his ties with Monique, and his passion for dancing and so much more. So don't you go away. Back in a moment. Coming up, we have Dwight Holt Jr. with us. Back in a moment. On the next Michael Finkley, the fight for autism is on. To share their stories, we have gospel artist Kenny Lewis and former NFL player Joe Barksdale with us. Next Finkley, Friday. School districts, organizations, nonprofits, are you in search of a new promotional products company? Seegers Promotional Products is a Black-owned national company with over 780,000 products to choose from. Compared to other promotional products companies, they have the lowest prices in the industry. From pens, bags, shirts, they got you covered. They always remember that you are the customer and you come first. They always promise fast production and also fast delivery. With Seegers Promotional Products Company, you truly have the best. Check out their website at seegerspromotions.com and also on Facebook and LinkedIn. And tell them Finkley sent you.
Hey everybody, my name is Arthur Vernon R. Matthews Jr. I just wrote a new book called Family Ties, and I also want to say a special shout out to one of the kids that I mentored and has got his own TV show on Roku, Michael Finkley, and this is 100th episode. So if you guys want to really hear about this book and see what's going on, check out Mike Finkley on The Finkley Show.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, my next guest, he is the founder of Dancing Your Pounds Off. I should have met him like 5 years ago. He is Dwight Holt Jr. Dwight, thank you for being with us today.
What's good, bro? Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for saying yes. We've been watching your journey. We first saw you when we saw you with, of course, the queen of comedy, Monique, and we've been following you ever since. But we'll get into that as the interview progresses. So when you were growing up, childhood, how important was dance for you during this time?
Oh, wow. Great question. So dance was everything to me. I grew up in a household where we had everything that meant something. And what I mean by that is we had love. So when it came down to money, we weren't the richest. We weren't the richest, but growing up, you really didn't know you weren't the richest until you met other people and you began to, and we'll talk about this later too, but you began to kind of compare. And something that I teach within Dance Your Pounds Off all the time is sometimes when you sway out of your lane, that's when a wreck happens. So sometimes you have to be tunnel vision and stay in your own lane, and you can stay, steady, stay steadfast. So I say that because growing up, we knew love, and that was what the money was, and that's where it was. And because of that, because we didn't have the money, we had enough money to do what we needed. Because we didn't have the money, when it came down to doing things, I took a latch onto dance. Dance and art and things, etc. was free. I didn't need money to do that. When it came to going to the mall shopping, I didn't need money to dance. I had to have money to do all the Gucci, the Louis, all that. But when it came to arts, it was free. So I began to invest in that. And when it came to arts and dance, my very first flight that I ever took in life was because of dance. Mm-hmm. My very first theater show that I ever went to was because of dance. My many opportunities that I was afforded was because of dance, and because of which, like, it was very important to me. It opened up a lot of doors. The Bible says that your talents and gift would open the doors and put you in front of kings. And so that's what it did.
I love that. And again, with that scripture, I'm following that more, and I'm learning the meaning of that more and more, right? A man's gift will make room for him, and it really will do that. But Dwight, you didn't follow your gift completely. You went to Morehouse. You ended up in banking. Why did you go this route instead of pursuing dance fully first?
So I went to a school of arts in high school. So, and then I danced prior to that as well. Mm-hmm. So I felt like I had all the foundation in the arts into great levels. So I felt like I didn't want to miss the business aspect. When you go to a school of arts, it's so heavy on arts, although we do have the core academic courses. Mm-hmm. We fall so much into art strongly. I did not want to miss that foundation of knowing something else, being a jack of all trades and not being a master of none, but being a master of all. So I decided I'm going to do business. Let's go to where business sets itself apart from anywhere. And while I was at a school of arts, because of my GPA, I was invited to a luncheon, if you would, with Morehouse current students. And when I see a Black man stand as tall as they did, as strong as they did, they showed themselves to be something that I admired and I thought I was one of at the school that I was in. I was like, I had to be a part of this. Yeah. So when I got to Morehouse, I was like, I have the dance background already. So now let me get the business aspect. And once I finish Morehouse, let me put them together and run forth with it. Mm-hmm. So that was the goal. But when I got to Morehouse, I quickly found out it's better when you get to college to do what you love, because when it comes down to these group projects, these assignments, these tests and all that other stuff, it's better to know it. So, but no, it was absolutely amazing. But with that, I tell the story. I was still dancing, but I got turned off of dance, what led me to Chase Bank, where I worked at, because I did an audition with Sierra. I didn't make it, and it wasn't because I didn't have the talent and I wasn't great. I didn't make it because of my height. They were looking for a different look. So I was like, I'm not going to work my, is this Christian? I'm not going to work my A off, my behind off. I'm not going to work my behind off for a field that you'll tell me no just because of how I look. That's not what I want. So it came full circle, because after working with Mo a year, I think I did like a Sierra song and she posted my video. And I was like, look at there. The girl who made me chill, although it wasn't her fault. The reason why I chill, you still see me, but it's owning my company. It's doing what I love. It's changing the world that I live in the way I'm doing it. So everything comes full circle. So trust the process is very important. Trusting the process is very important.
As I tell persons when I talk with them, the process is for you, right? The tears, the frowns, the ups and downs, that's for you. But the results are for everyone else.
Hello?
Experience.
That's
what it is about. So you actually experienced something in your life that kind of changed your perspective of following your passion. Can you talk about that for us?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you actually had a car accident that kind of changed your perspective of chasing your passion. Can you talk about that for us?
So that was funny. That's what I thought you were talking about. That's what I thought you were talking about. But I've experienced a couple of things. I was burnt at the age of 1. You didn't ask. But I was burnt. Some people know, some people don't. They see my arm and they think it's tattoos. But it's honestly, I was burned at the age of 1. At the age of 1, my mother was cooking, and she normally gets through cooking before we get home. And I pulled the skillet of pork chops on my head. So when I pulled it on my head, it began to burn the top of my head, and it began to come to my body, down my body, in a way where, though my mother was afraid to touch me, she was screaming and I was screaming. So the neighbor heard us, and she called the ambulance, the police. They got there. I went to the hospital. Long story short, while at the hospital, I stopped breathing. When I stopped breathing, they had to put my grandmother and my mother out of the hospital room because of the fact they began to, of course, panicked. They were able to bring me back to life. At that moment, at the age of 1, I knew that there was a greater meaning because he would have took me at 1. So ever since then, I live my life a little differently. I don't live with limits because I'm like, well, if you wanted me, you would already take me. And because you didn't take me, let me go through this full course. That was the first down experience. My second down experience was the wreck that you were speaking of. And it was raining. I was headed to a dance rehearsal. I began to hydroplane. Hit a wall twice. No seatbelt on. People, wear your seatbelt. Still to this day, I got to make myself put on the seatbelt because I don't like no chains. I like to be free, but whatever. So now I try to wear my seatbelt. But hydroplane, I had to take. That's why it's also important to be fit and healthy. I restrained my body as though I had on a seatbelt, so I wasn't going everywhere. The whole time I'm literally yelling, I don't want to die, 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 I don't want to die. After I hit both walls and I'm able to get out and walk out, at that moment I had to ask myself the question, if I were to die and people were at my funeral, what would they say about me? If they said that I worked at Chase Bank and I was an amazing banker and I brought so much money to the bank, what does that say about me? Like, Dwight, is that who you are? And it wasn't who I was. Like, it wasn't who I was. It's not who I am. Now I'm living in my truth. So now if you come to my funeral, which I ain't gonna die, I'm gonna live forever. But now, if so happens you come to my funeral, you're gonna hear them say, I changed lives. You're gonna hear people who changed my lives speak about me and my effect on them. You're gonna really hear something that keeps me alive. When I'm no longer here, I can't tell my story, but other people will. And right now, I can honestly say I will be happy with what they say. And you got a few people like my assistant. She may be able to tell you some other stories. But ultimately, what it's going to boil down to is going to have the same theme. And I absolutely love that. It took a car wreck and near-death experience to get me to leave a comfortable place. But now I realize it wasn't comfortable. It was safety. It was compromise. And you shouldn't compromise on something that's not what you want in life. You shouldn't compromise. Go get what you want. That's what you're here for. That's why I'm here for. You here for. We're all here for.
That's why we're all here. And we're so glad that you're here because you're inspiring the masses with what you do. But when we come back, we want to hear that Monique story. I definitely want to hear about that. But more to come, y'all. Wait right back.
Next, Dwight tells us about his Monique experience. Back in a moment.
Hi, my name is DW Bass. You're watching the Michael Finkley Show on RokuTV and YouTube.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I, Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
Discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you.
Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Y'all, we're still chatting with Dwight over here. And again, with what he does with Dancing Your Pounds Off, it's just amazing ministry. It is an amazing ministry. So please tell us about this Monique story.
Monique. So everyone knows I do have an amazing mother, Connie Battle, amazing mother. But Mo, as many see, that's my other mother. But you know, this is years from our first greeting. I met Mo randomly one morning when I worked late at the bank. I was supposed to go in late. I went to do my workout. My workout has always consists of dance. Majority African dance because I've trained in African for so long. So I'm in the gym doing my African dance, you know, getting it, doing it. So Monique walks in with her assistant at the time, who I love, Robin. She walks in with Robin and they go straight to the treadmill. So I see them in the treadmill through the mirror. So I'm looking at them like, it's Monique. It is Monique. They not know. Okay. Keep moving. So I see she looks at me. So now, Mo, you looking at me. I'm late for work, but you looking at me. So I'm going to be a little late because you Monique. I have to tell my boss, you know, I got a black boss. He'll understand. Oh, wow. So eventually she gets off the treadmill and she begins to do what I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, girl, I'm really late now, but you now doing what I'm doing. This is an even better story to tell my boss. So she's imitating me. I'm doing it. She's doing it. After 20 minutes of being late for work, I was like, okay, that's it. So I turned around. I was like, hey, and we held a conversation. And she was like, young man, like, you're amazing. We talked and she was like, I'm here filming a movie with Queen Latifah, HBO. The movie's Bestie. Make sure y'all check it out. An amazing film. And she was like, while I'm here, will you train me through dance? So you know me, I'm like, yeah, like I was a little limited because I work at the bank, but I didn't tell her that. I was just like, yeah. So she was like, I'll meet you here tomorrow. Let my assistant know your prices and all that. I think that is the funniest thing. And any entrepreneur who are watching, I want you to know it's okay to use Google. Now, I'm not used to this. I had to say, hey, Google, how much do you charge a start? I was like, that ain't the price. How much do you charge a superstar? Like, you know what I mean? So I hear her assistant with numbers. She was like, oh, that's fine. Let's make it happen. And that next day, I was like, I wonder if she's going to be the standard celebrity, say she's going to do something and not come through. That's not who Monique is. I went to the gym. I was in there for maybe 2 minutes. And I was like, here we go. Standard Hollywood stuff. And 2 minutes later, I heard, baby. I said, there ain't nobody but Mo. But she came in, and when she came in, like we had a session. I think she was here for maybe 2 weeks. She ended up going back to California. I got a call maybe like a month later, and she was like, hey, baby, we're moving to Atlanta. Can we get like 2 days a week? I was like, yes. After like 3-4 months, she was like, let's do 3 days a week. I was like, yes. I think at one point it was like 5 days a week, nonstop, every day, getting it in. And while I'm speaking of Monique, let me say, through my experience, I'm so grateful and thankful for her. Now, she was my first client. Now, how does that happen? She was my first client, but she changed my life in a way beyond Dance Your Pounds Off. Because the things that she stands for, every day there's not a meeting that I go into that I don't have her in the back of my mind that says, don't bend. If things are for you right now, stick around and see in the end why you had to say no. See why other things had to be a no. For every no, there's a greater yes. And she's standing in it, she walks in it. And there's a lot of things that I had to say no to that came to a circle. And I was like, I'm glad thank you, Mo. Thank you. So that no bending, that's another thing I want entrepreneurs to know. Don't hop into some stuff so quick because it's the first thing that's offered. Sometimes it's okay to step back, remember your morals, remember the things that your foundation. I tell people when they ask me, what's your greatest accomplishment? I say, I'm still me. The person you met 6 years ago, you will meet today. And that's my greatest accomplishment. People change in this industry. Money. That's why they don't nobody like nobody's second album. They get a little money and then everything changes.
Everything changes.
You get money. It's like, who is this? Who is this? So yeah. That's my Mo story.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. Again, with that, we see that the world is changing, right? Especially with the health crisis that we were seeing in the world today. Overall, we're seeing obesity. I've had problems with my weight for years since I was an adolescent. In the Black community, you're seeing, as they call it, the sugar, right? The diabetes, the everything, the cancers, that kind of thing. So how does dance equal health?
It's being active, it's moving, it's lowering all aspects of the things that can cause like your high blood pressure, your diabetes, things of that such. The first thing when you look up ways to reduce these factors, you're going to see exercise within the first 3 things because they want you to be active. They want you to be active. They want you to move. They want you to do things that counter some of the other habits that you may have. One of the biggest things that annoy me, and I hear with my family all the time, is it runs in the family. It's a curse. Yeah. Like hearing those, my mama did, so I did. It's like, no. What you've been given is, if you know your mother went through, now you know what you have to do in order to prevent it. Like if you know there's a lot of wrecks on this highway and there's traffic, what do? You find another way to get where you want to go. So what I'm saying is that's what you have to do with health, wellness, diseases, things that are common in the Black community. You have to find things that counter that. So I held a conversation with my brother, and I'm putting him on blast because he's not even 40 yet. And he was like, I got to take my high blood pressure medicine. And I was like, for what? And he was like, doctor said I got high blood pressure. And I was like, bro, you're not even 40. And he was like, yeah, I know, but I got to take. I said, so let's talk about your diet. And he began to name things. And I was like, you name generational curses, but the curses are your habits. Like, it's not the disease, it's you doing exactly what they did, and now you have what they have. So it's like, bro, let's look at a new diet. Let's stop taking these pills and let's make a lifestyle change and see what it can happen. So when it comes to Dance Your Pounds Off, that's what it is. When you hit that floor, you reduce stress, that high blood pressure, we reduce it. That diabetes, we reduce it. You come to class for one thing, and baby, we change it all. And it's not just for others who come, but it's for me as well. I have to check myself at the door so others will check themselves at the door. Mo will tell you, Mo was one of the ones who, she said it before. She was like, she was on high blood pressure medicine. And she was like, her hair began to do what it do. And her beautician was like, girl, are you taking? And she was like, yeah. She was like, that's what it's doing. It'll cure one thing, but it'll affect another thing. So that's why I say, like, be active. Be active and find different ways. My assistant is another person. My assistant speaks on, and I'm going to speak on it. She speaks on her mother often. I didn't get a chance to meet her, but from words, who was an amazing woman who passed away at a young age. And my assistant, every day, knowing that, she works in a way where she doesn't see death at an early age like she did with her mother. She don't want her son to see with her. And that is the perfect example of how people have to live. You know how one person was affected, so do something different. You want something different, do something different. You want something the same, do the same things. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result, Albert Einstein says, it's insanity. And at Dance Your Pounds Off, we do the opposite. We don't want the same results. We ain't gonna let you be regular. We're not gonna let you come on that floor and talk about what you're going through without giving you a result to change it. Folks gonna be mad, but it's my issue with a lot of churches. They're gonna beat me up for it. But the issue with a lot of churches is I don't have time to hear this woman who's been crying about something for 10 years still crying about the same thing. Maybe if you crying about bills after 10 years, hey church, let's get her into a financial literacy class. Let's get her out the choir. Let's get her out the pews shouting every week, but let's get her a true lesson at how to make change. Because maybe if it's 10 years later, and I recently seen that at a funeral, this woman been crying like that since I was a child. I was like, man, you need to do something different. But yeah, we just got to do something different. And that's what Dance Your Pounds Off is about, something different.
And I'm so glad that you summed that up, because it sounds more like it's not like a exercise program. It's more like a lifestyle change, because you are doing something different. What are some of your dreams and goals taking your business to the next level?
So Dance Your Pounds Off, to piggyback on what you first said. So Dance Your Pounds Off is about losing the physical pounds. Mm-hmm. But it's pounds, we dance off anything that's holding you down. That's what the pounds is. Right. So it can be physical weight, it can be stress, it can be finances, it can be a relationship. I knew it was something different when I had people come into class after they just lost their mother. Like they found out at 2 p.m. they lost their mother. They was in class at 7. And I was like, no, go be with your family. And they were like, no, if I don't come here, I may lose my mind. I need this relief. And you realize that you're dancing more than just the physical. Because many people lose the weight and don't change their mind and end up gaining the weight right back. Mm-hmm. So it is deeper than just the physical. Dreams and aspirations when it comes to Dance Your Pounds Off. I do know that God has a lot of great things in store for Dance Your Pounds Off. Whether it's TV, that we are looking at, when it comes to music, we are looking at, just overall, like music, TV is the next thing. Like I can tell you some of my aspirations, but God has revealed and said this is too low. So I don't even want to speak on it. I can tell you what's coming. It's TV and some music. I got some stuff coming, but I'll tell you what I see. But God has said, I'm going to blow your mind. Yeah. And because he said he's going to blow my mind, it's like, let me not even try to tell you what he got planned. He's going to show you. But that's what's next. TV and music. And the music is fire now. The music is nice.
Okay. I love that. Like, come on, next level.
Putting them little copyright things when I post their music. So it's like, you know what? We got our own coming. And it's fire.
Love it. Keep building that brand. Keep building on you. So we know that this awesome business is a part of you. But when it comes down to Dwight,
oh Lord,
what? I'm gonna be nice. When it comes down to Dwight, how does Dwight keep himself motivated?
Great question. I would say in general, family and friends. I would say that in general, family and friends. but I would break down family a little more. My nieces motivate me. I have some nephews as well, but my nieces motivate me. When no matter what the world says, when you go around them for the family events and they see Uncle Dwight, Uncle DC, Uncle D, they treat me like I'm the biggest celebrity there is. And they're so amazed by me. And I honestly don't want that to change. I don't have any children yet. So because I don't have any children, I want to be that uncle where they're always proud of me. I want to be that uncle when they call me and tell me they got a field trip. I want to be able to supply for them. I went to my niece's school one time and she lightweight pimped me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. She wasn't even in during second grade. So I took her lunch. And while I was at lunch with her out loud so the people could hear her, now she already knows this because she watched like shows that I've been on replay. But her friends are around. She was like, Uncle DC, so how was Ellen? And I was like, what are you talking? And she was like, didn't you do the TV show? Like she's talking this loud. And I was like, I see what you're doing. I was like, I'm with you though. I was like, it was good. I enjoyed this. Like, girl, I'm gonna play with you. But moments like that, like it makes my heart smile to be able to be the example. And they motivate me. They motivate me to be the best me because I want them to be the best them. Like, I love them. I do it for them. Yeah, and I do it for the person I look at in the mirror. Anytime I see my reflection in the mirror, I want to see somebody I'm proud of.
Yeah.
I always want to see somebody I'm proud of. I never want to look in the mirror and be ashamed. Yeah. So that reflection motivates me to continue to push and go on. And lastly, y'all motivate me. When I go to the airports and people be like, you gonna show me a little move? You can do a little move? Like that motivates me when people be like, hey, one of your videos like made my whole entire day. That motivates me like all that.
I love it. And with that motivation, what do you want the world to know about dance? From your perspective, what do you want the world to know?
It's freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom. And when you do it, Nina Simone, who I love to death also, they said, what is freedom to you? And she said, no fear. And when it comes to dance, I think that's how you have to dance. That's how you have to live. You have to do it with freedom. You have to do it with no fear. You have to let go. You have to understand there's no judgment around. I tell people dance. Like what I want the world to know about dance is therapy. It's freedom. It's a way of living. There's dance and a beat and music work hand in hand. And they're so stress relievers. We were born to a beat. Like we move every day to a heartbeat. When our heart stops, we stop. And so when it comes to dance, it's like live. Some people be like, they don't say it about me, baby, because I don't play that. I don't be off beat. A couple of people like, you was off beat. I don't be off beat. I don't be off beat. But when it comes to, some people are worried about like, I can't dance. I ain't got no rhythm. It don't matter. You're not, non-rhythm is a rhythm. Just tell them, turn off the music. And it is a rhythm. Now,
that's good, sir. That's good. Many people don't know that.
Right. So it's like, be free, like no fear, live your life, dance, 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 dance,
dance. Yeah, dance. That's it all. I love it all, sir. How can they find you on social media?
Look, all things Dance Your Pounds Off is mine. I own. So if you Google Dance Your Pounds Off, you'll find it. Dwight Holt Jr. also is my Instagram, and a lot of things are posted on there. Dance Your Pounds Off. It's the website as well. All things Dance Your Pounds Off. And for those who watch this video, I definitely want to thank you again for having me out. But for those who are watching this video, don't be intimidated by what you see on the videos. Everything is happening step by step. You don't come in the first 5 minutes, I do it, and for the rest of the time you're learning it. No, we break it down. It's such a free environment. If you have questions, ask questions. Now I will push you. And Michael, I say I will push you because of the fact of I got some old heads who will ask me a question. It's not a pet peeve, but they'll ask me a question and I look them in the eye and I feel like they have it. They just don't have the confidence. So if if your confidence stop you from doing something, I'm gonna get you. So after, I'd be like, no, what's your question? Okay, show me you got it. And when they do it, I make them run around the building because I'd be like, nah. And guess what? They don't do it no more because it's like, I want you to show confidence in yourself before you doubt yourself. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. So look, don't be intimidated. Come, class is broken up into a warm up and then a routine. So if you come to class, you'll be taken care of. We friendly. We love all people, all styles, all types.
All right, you heard it from his lips himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Dwight Holt Jr., thank you so much for being with us. Telling
so prestigious.
Because it is. Because you are. Because you're Dwight.
Hello? I like that.
So we give you your respect and your flowers while you're still here. Y'all, is Dwight. Thank you for being with us.
I appreciate that. All love.
Yes, sir. Back in a moment.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason Claiborne, gospel recording artist, and you're watching the Michael Finkley Show on Roku and YouTube.
Calling all Trio, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our college readiness cohort series.
This college readiness series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really?
If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you.
Thing that I can tell you today is be careful of the takers around you and of the consumers, and make sure you're around producers so you can learn how to produce in the world. If it's one thing that I know that wealthy people do is add value to everything that's around them. Producers add to the world. Producers give to the world. You want to be a producer, you want to be able to add some type of value to somebody, because when you add value, it's harder to replace you than when you don't add value. If you work at a job, if you in any business, if you got any type of thing going on, notice that you wouldn't let nobody go in your business if they add value to you, no matter what it is. It's some people around you who you have to let go because they're not adding value to you. And when you keep those people around you who's not adding no value, the only thing that they're doing is subtracting from you. So be careful of who you have around you, and notice the people who is taken away from you. Notice the people who is taken away from your greatness. Notice the people who is just soaking in something but not able to give back what they soaked in, who is not able to reciprocate what you're giving them. Then you become drained off of giving to somebody and not receiving something back. In your relationship with your significant other, with friends, with family, with any type of relationship, if that person is not adding value, let that relationship go today and start putting yourself and associating yourself with people who are going to add some value to you, so that you won't become draining, and that you can take something so it can be a give and take relationship, so that not only is I'm not taking from this person, I'm giving to this person, and they not taking from me, they give it to me as well. So today, if you have draining relationships, negative relationships, only takers around you, let them go today. Let them go today, and surround yourself around new people, around better people, around producers. Get away from consumers.
School districts, organizations, nonprofits, are you in search of a new promotional products company?
Seegers Promotional Products is a Black-owned national company with over 780,000 products to choose from. Compared to other promotional products companies, they have the lowest prices in the industry. From pens, bags, shirts, they got you covered. They always remember that you are the customer and you come first. They always promise fast production and also fast delivery. With Seegers Promotional Products Company, you truly have the best. Check out their website at seegerspromotions.com and also on Facebook and LinkedIn.
And tell them Finkley sent you. On the next Michael Finkley.
The fight for autism is on. To share their stories, we have gospel artist Kenny Lewis and former NFL player Joe Barksdale with us.
Next Finkley.
Friday.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I hope that you learned something from this show and from our guest today. Thank you so much, Dwight, for being with us and sharing your experiences, your knowledge, and your words. Really appreciate you. On the next Michael Finkley, these two individuals have been on the fight against autism. We have gospel artist Kenny Lewis and former NFL player, now musician and comedian, Joe Barksdale with us as they tell their stories in their words. Another show you don't want to miss. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Michael Finkley Show. Ring that bell for notification. We'll send you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And for more information about what we do here at The Michael Finkley Show, visit our website at themichaelfinkleyshow.com. RokuTV, right? Don't you forget it. Add the Greater Words Network to your Roku TV and watch The Michael Finkley Show every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or on demand. Thank you so much for watching us again. And guess what? We'll see you next time. Have a good one.